guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me. I'm going to be telling you about my trip to San Francisco for Gen Beauty, and I'm going to be using products that I got there. So it's going to be full of first impressions, and I'm not going to be doing a tutorial per se. If you want to watch that, then go to my Instagram. There I will have just the tutorial portion of this video. Here I'm just going to be talking about the products themselves and about my trip and the nightmare that was my trip. Anyway, we'll get into that later. So if you want to see how I did this and you want to hear a little bit about my life right now at the moment, then keep watching. So I already did my hair. This is kind of confusing trying to record a get ready with me and an Instagram tutorial at once, so I forgot to talk while I was doing my hair. I just used the 12 Benefits Instant Healthy Hair Treatment, and it claims to do 12 different things. I don't know, let's see how it works on these curls. And then I also smoothed out my frizz with the Eva NYC Get Glossed Hair Serum. Now I'm going to move on to my face. I'm actually going to be recreating a look that I did for Gen Beauty on the Sunday, and I posted it up on my IG story. I'm going to insert it here. And you guys asked for a tutorial, so here it is. On that day I used the Hourglass Veil Primer, but today I'm going to be using the Trace Stick Magic Mattifying Balm. I'm just going to run that. Whoa, that is really mattifying. And just spreading it with my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this line. The whole point of it is makeup on the go. So it's something that's supposed to be super portable that you can just carry around in your bag, and you can do it in 5 minutes just using your fingers and your hands, and you're good to go. This is like insanely mattifying though. It applies kind of thick, almost like a wax, but then when you spread it, it just becomes like super smooth like any normal primer would. I like this. I always make sure to use primer when I've got acne flare-ups and stuff like that, because it helps to even out the texture and your foundation application will go on much smoother. So because I have a lot of acne scarring, I always like to use yellow concealer before my normal concealer. And I had always heard about the LA Girl concealers but had never tried them. And I bought it while I was in San Francisco, and I was gonna buy like a normal concealer, but then I saw that they had a yellow one, and this one's like a true yellow, which is really hard to find. Like most brands just do like that really gross pale yellow, and I hate that shit. I like my concealer to be actual yellow. Okay, what I'm noticing, I had never used this primer before, what I'm noticing is that the concealer is like really sticking to it. Like, see, it's not moving, which is good. I mean, you want your concealer to stay where you put it, but at the same time, it's like, whoa. So yellow concealer is meant for purple discoloration, so like under eye area and stuff, but I find that it works really well on like brown spots or red spots too. I know that green concealer is meant for red, but sometimes the green just turns out really like, it just makes you look kind of sickly. Whenever I work on set, I always use yellow corrector, and I always get complimented on the way I do people's skin, so. Okay, this primer is kind of making my problem areas show. It's like flaky skin, it's making it stand out rather than smooth it down. I do not like that. Next, I think I'm going to go in with foundation, and I am going to use the Trace Stick foundation. Also, I am aware that my nails look horrible, but this is not a nail channel, so this is how many fucks I give. My color is number 2, and I was actually lucky enough to meet the owner of the company while I was at Gen Beauty, and she was the one who color matched me, and it is a perfect, perfect match. Like, I don't remember the last time that a foundation matched this well to my skin. And it was crazy because she actually, like, we were all in a bit of a hurry, so she didn't actually, like, color match me. She didn't grab the product and test it on my skin. She just looked at me and she's like, I think you're a 2. And then I got home and I tried it and I was like, holy shit, I am a 2. And again, I'm just, normally I would spread it out with a brush, but because this product is meant for you to spread with your fingers, that's what I'm doing. It gives a really, really natural finish to the skin. Like, it makes the skin look like skin, and you can see it covered up a lot of like problem areas that I have. So my hair's starting to dry, and I'm noticing that it's getting a little frizzy. Not frizzy, but the curl just isn't forming, so I'm gonna get more of that, whoa, that went everywhere, spray, and I'm just going to apply it like in the problem areas. And that usually helps to form the curl properly. I usually have to go and like reapply product as my hair dries to make sure that it all looks like this and it's all fluffy and curly and cute. Next up, the Shape Tape. I never understood the hype around it. I was always like, well, it's just a concealer, guys, like, what the hell? And I didn't purchase it before because I normally don't like to buy skin products, so like foundation and concealer, online without testing it out in person first to make sure that it's my color. Every trade show that I went to, like IMATS, that Tarte was there, it would always be sold out. I'm using a tiny bit. But this time, it was not sold out, so I was able to get someone to color match it for me. And they asked me if I wanted to go lighter for my under eye or the color of my skin, and I told them I wanted it as a general concealer, and they still color matched it too light for me, so I'm a little bit ticked off, but it's fine, like, I'll live. I never understood the hype until I got it, and my under eye area is really, really wrinkly. I've never had a concealer that doesn't crease under my eyes. I've used high-end, low-end, I've tried setting them a bunch of different ways. I've tried baking, I've tried everything under the sun, and no matter what I did, there would always be some sort of creasing. I wore the Shape Tape around my eyes. I set it with powder, I didn't bake it, I just set it pretty heavily, but still. I wore it for over 15 hours. I was working on set that day. I got up at 5:30 in the morning, did my makeup. I got home, it was like 11 at night, and it had not creased. I shit you not. I've been converted. I am a believer. Call it what you will. The Shape Tape lives up to the hype. Oh, and if you were wondering, my Shape Tape shade is Light Sand. It is pretty pale. So before I powder, I'm gonna do contour, and I never do cream contour. But while I was there, I got this palette, and it comes with cream contour shade, which I've been trying out, and I actually don't hate it. So gonna do that. So the reason I never do cream contour is I just feel like I don't need it. I'm usually pretty heavy-handed with my powder contour to begin with, but I'm doing it very lightly because this color gets kind of out of hand very quickly. It gets really dark. It doesn't seem like it's that dark, but it gets pretty dark. Another thing is that it sets really fast too, so if you get it in the wrong place, then it's like, you're kind of doomed. And then I'm gonna go in with the powder contour. So I'm low-key obsessed with this palette. I normally don't like contour palettes because the colors are really orange and gross, but I'm really digging the color in this one. It's really cool toned, but it still gives you a nice, healthy look. And the highlighters are really blinding. Like, I tried to go subtle with it on one day and it just did not happen. So for setting, I use two different powders. I use a really light pale one, and then I use the Ofra Banana powder. This is my all-around color. This is just my under eye color. And this color, I use it just like on the inside, inner corners pretty much. And I bring it down, also on my eyelids. And then with the banana powder, I use it on the rest. I have really yellow skin, so banana powders just work like normal powder for me, typically. I'm gonna set any sort of problem area. And I like to just roll the little powder puff. Anyway, I should be chatting during this video, and I'm totally not. So, San Francisco. I had never been to San Francisco. Well, I mean, I went there when I was 8 years old, but I don't really count that. I don't think it counts. Like, all I remember from when I went there when I was younger is I saw a guy in assless leather chaps. That is literally all I remember from San Francisco. So I don't know if that counts. So yeah, I went and I stayed with my friend Sarah, and she lives there. She's awesome. She's great. She's an amazing makeup artist. She went with me to Gen Beauty, kept me company. I usually go to these events by myself. It's kind of awkward because I'm very shy and very awkward. But this time I had company, so that was fun. I had been to Gen Beauty in LA before. I went this year? Yes, I went this year. And it was pretty different. The LA one was bigger, but I really enjoyed the San Francisco one because it didn't feel crowded, even though it was a huge space and there were a lot of people. It didn't feel crowded. It was great. So I went as a creator to Gen Beauty, which means I went to the party on Friday night and I got to see a lot of people there, and I got the creator goodie bag, which gave us like a bunch of stuff from the different brands. And this was a blusher that we got from Milani, and I am just in love with it because it's got like a slight shimmer to it. It's got this like gold part here that gives it a nice glow, but it's just so lovely and pretty, and just kind of just want to bathe in it all the time, especially when you combine it with a highlighter that's already there. It just makes the highlighter kind of like blend into the blusher, and it just looks so nice. So I'm bringing my blush a bit closer to the center than I normally would, and a bit higher, because this look is very much about like, I don't know, it's very much like a Renaissance painting was how my friend described it. So I'm literally taking my blush brush and blending it under my eye. Ooh, I think I'm gonna use my new brushes too. Yes, because, well, they're both actually Royal & Langnickel. So this is my go-to brush for inner corners, and then I got this one over the weekend, and they're pretty much the same brush. This one's a little bit bigger. So the inspiration behind this look was actually because I didn't feel like drawing brows. I lost my glasses the day I arrived in San Francisco, and I've been wearing glasses for almost 20 years, and I have never in my life lost a pair. And I lost my first pair of glasses, and I didn't have any like normal contacts like the ones I'm wearing now. I only had colored contacts, but they're kind of old and I'm kind of irresponsible, and I've kind of been wearing them for too long. So they hurt my eyes whenever I wear them. On Sunday, I was like, okay, I already have to deal with this bullshit. I'm not drawing on eyebrows. And I was gonna wear my wig that day. Why are these like not curling? Anyway, I was gonna wear my wig that day, but I also didn't feel like it because wigs are really uncomfortable. And this look kind of turned out really cute with my own natural hair, so Sunday was my comfy day. And then what also inspired this look was that I got these two palettes from the Balm, and I wanted to try them out. So I'm gonna start off with the Nude Beach. Holy shit. Everything's falling. I have a little makeup bag in my lap and just everything fell. While in San Francisco, I went to La Taqueria on Mission Street, which apparently is like a staple there, and it was like a go-to place. My friend was like, you have to go there. Like, you don't understand, you have to go there. And yeah, they've got the best quesadillas I've ever had in my life, because I don't know what they do. It's almost as if they deep fry them. Like, it's that crispy and golden and just like, oh. So I'm actually using a shimmery shade as my transition shade because it's very much about like the glow and making it look like super, I don't know how to explain it. You'll get it once it's done. Where else did I go? I also went to Bob's, I almost said Bob's Burgers. I went to Bob's Donut Shop, and I had one of their world famous fritters. I'm obsessed with fritters. And I won't deny that the dough was just amazing. It was like the fluffiest, softest thing I've ever had. But it only had like 5 pieces of apple, like this size, in a fritter this size. And it's like, I like my fritters to be, you know, chunky. So whenever I travel, I'm very much like, okay, where's the good places to go and eat? That's usually the first thing I research. I'm very much what you would call a foodie. I think I've mentioned this before, I don't know, I actually went to cooking school. I have a degree. I thought I was gonna be a baker. That did not obviously happen. But back to food, what else did I eat while I was there? I ate dim sum on Monday morning before I left. Sarah took me to, it was a street that was all dim sum shops pretty much. And so we had dim sum for breakfast, which was amazing. Wicked cheap, wicked good, wicked filling. God, okay, what I really wanted to talk about in this video was don't ever ride Megabus. Ever. Oh, where do I even begin? So I went on Friday and came back Monday, and I took Megabus. Whoa. Why do I always do that during Get Ready With Me? Okay, granted, this is my second Get Ready With Me, but I never stab myself in the eye, except when I'm doing these kinds of videos, which is really weird. So I was gonna go with my boyfriend originally to Gen Beauty, but he ended up having to work, and so I didn't have a ride anymore. So I was like, okay, airplanes are gonna be wicked expensive now. So I decided to take the bus, and my boyfriend was like, oh, you should go with Megabus. I've traveled with them before, and they're always pretty good. They've got Wi-Fi, they've got AC, and I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. It was a bit more expensive than some other companies, but because he recommended it to me, I chose it. I'm gonna, you know, work on my laptop while I get there. I managed to get a table seat, so I was happy. And then it turns out there was no Wi-Fi. So that already really irritated me. I missed out on doing some work stuff. I did some other work stuff, but anyway, one of their selling points is that they have free Wi-Fi, and it wasn't working. It wasn't functional. And a guy that was sitting next to me was like, yeah, I've taken this bus ride many times and their Wi-Fi never works. Now on the way there, oh my god, I totally forgot my Freckles. God damn it. I'll do that in a second. So on the way there, the AC didn't work too well. Like, it wasn't a blazing inferno, but it also wasn't cold like you would expect. On the way back, it was a whole different story. I just have to take a second before I start talking about this. On the way back, I got another table seat, and I was like, great, I'll be able to work some more, because it's another 7.5 hours of my life. Internet was not working again, which I was kind of preparing myself for. I figured if it didn't work on the way there, it's not going to work on the way back. Then it turns out that the AC simply was not working. Apparently on the top deck of the bus it was, but it wasn't on the lower deck of the bus, which is where I was and where I wanted to stay because of the table, because I was working on my laptop. So we were in 104-degree weather with no AC. There was a baby on the bus. There were elderly people on the bus. I was sweating my fucking balls off. The bus driver stopped twice to try and fix it. He apparently went under the bus or something at one point to try and fix it, to no avail. And then he was like, there's seats upstairs if anyone wants to go upstairs because the AC is working upstairs. And then no one moved because no one wanted to go upstairs. And he was like, well, fine. Don't say I didn't warn you. I told you guys to move upstairs. You aren't doing it, whatever. And so I thought that was pretty freaking rude of him. But I don't know. He was exasperated. It was really hot. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. And I stayed downstairs until I started getting serious heat exhaustion. I have low blood pressure, and if it's really, really hot, my pressure will drop. And that's not fun because I usually get sick when my pressure drops. And so I started to feel really, really sick from the heat. We stopped earlier than we were supposed to, and then after we got back on the bus, I was like, you know what? I was actually working and I couldn't concentrate on work because of the heat exhaustion. I ended up just giving up on working altogether, and then I decided to go upstairs, and I did. And then here's where things get interesting. So the bus has a Los Angeles stop, which is downtown, and a Burbank stop, which is close to where I live. I didn't know they had the Burbank stop, but when the driver said Burbank stop is coming soon, I was like, great, I'll be able to get off this bus. All I want to do in my life is get off this bus, because even though I was upstairs, I was still feeling pretty sick from the heat exhaustion. And mind you, this is a 7.5-hour bus ride. And so he stops at Burbank, and everyone at the Burbank stop gets off, and I got off, and he was handing people their suitcases, and he's like, okay, where's yours? And I looked around and I couldn't see it. When I told him I can't see it, he immediately just went, I don't have time for this, I'm late, I have to continue. And I was like, what? It's probably behind another suitcase. Like, just go and get it. And he got out of the luggage area and refused to get my bag. And he was like, I'm running late. I can't. You have to get on the bus. And I was like, I'm getting off here. Like, I don't know what your problem is. I'm getting off here. So he got back on the bus and refused to look for my suitcase. And turns out my suitcase was just behind another one. And at this point, I went into the luggage area to look for my suitcase. And I had a backpack and another bag on my arm, but the other bags in front of it were really heavy, so I couldn't move things around. And I was holding my cell phone with a flashlight on, so it was really hard to look for stuff when I'm holding a cell phone, I have another bag, and I'm trying to move heavy suitcases. So I looked for a bit and I couldn't find it. And then at this point, he comes back outside and he's like, come here, I'll help you. And I was like, okay, finally. So I went back inside to drop off my backpack and my bag so that it would be easier for me to look for my suitcase. And the minute I stepped inside the bus, he closed the door and started driving. And at that point I yelled, I was like, what are you doing? I need to get out and I need to find my bag. And he didn't stop. And all he said was, I'm late, I'm late. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I need to get out. And I need my bag. And he just didn't care. He gave zero shits. He just kept saying, I'm late, and he refused to drop me off. So by the legal definition of the word, he kidnapped me. And at this point, I was so angry. This was after 7 hours and a half of just sweltering heat, being sick and not being able to work, no Wi-Fi, nothing. And he wasn't letting me off the bus when I was explicitly telling him that I wanted to get off the bus at a stop where he was stopped and other people got off. And at this point, it was very interesting because I got to see two complete polar reactions from people on the bus. So obviously people were staring at me because I was like screaming at the guy, telling him to let me off the bus. And I also started crying because I got so angry and I just didn't know what to do. I was shaking and I was crying from anger. At this point, one lady beside me, she turns to me and she's like, well, why didn't you come sooner when he called the Burbank stop? And I said, I did. I came downstairs the minute he stopped the bus, but I was in the baggage area looking for my suitcase because he refused to. And then she just shut up and looked at me. At the same time, there was another guy who was an angel. He was just the sweetest. He called customer service and reported the guy, told them the situation with the AC and the fact that there were babies on board and elderly people, and the fact that the bus driver had kidnapped me. Basically, the bus driver was like, you're gonna have to go to the next stop. And I said, I don't want to go to the next stop. I want to get off the bus, which is my right. I mean, he stopped at that stop. He gave other people their suitcases. Just because I couldn't see my suitcase, he didn't let me off. So the guy called customer service and he came and gave me a big hug and he was just trying to calm me down. And I didn't know what to do, how to react. My boyfriend was at work and the whole time I was texting him, panicking, being like, bus driver tricked me into getting back on the bus when I didn't want to. He said he was gonna help me look for my suitcase and then didn't, and then drove off. And I was just panicking. Like, I cried for so many hours after I had even already gotten home. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I felt very hopeless, and in that situation, you never know how you're gonna react. And I probably should have called the cops, but I didn't. Now I know better, I guess. So I got to Union Station, I got my goddamn bag, I called an Uber, and the guy was just like circling around trying to find the pickup spot, I guess. And then he canceled on me, and then when I went to call another one, the prices had more than doubled. And so I was already like distraught. I was crying, and then the Uber became like twice as expensive, and I was just like, fuck, this is the last thing I needed. So that wasn't fun. Then I got home, took a much needed shower, and my friend Cece came over. We had wine. I cried for a bit more, and then finally my boyfriend came over and things were fine. So that was my San Francisco trip. I don't even like to remember or think about it that much. And I hate that I'm probably gonna give a really clickbaity title to this video, but I did get kidnapped, so sorry, not sorry. So everyone asked me how I make my freckles so natural, and I use a felt tip marker that's got a very nice brown warm color to it. And I just do very irregular shapes and then pat it out to diffuse it. I like using a marker because it's pretty translucent already. At least this one is anyway. And if you still think it's too strong, I usually do this before, like when I do skin, so before I do anything else. So if I feel that it's still too strong, I'll go in with like my foundation brush and just lightly go over the freckles to kind of conceal them a tiny bit and make it look a bit more like skin. What else do I want to talk about? Alright, so right now I should have been packing my kit because tomorrow I'm going to go on a 5-day video shoot. I'm going to be working on 2 music videos. Way out in the desert, all the way out in Joshua Tree. But I decided to record this video so that I could edit during my downtime on set. It's a lot of freckles. I always end up doing way too many. But I don't know, it kind of looks more natural when you go a bit overboard. I think it just gives a really cute touch to the makeup. I'm actually going to be working with my friends, my friends who filmed my Face Awards video, my Cyberpunk one. I'm going to be working with them on 2 music videos, so I'm pretty excited. Oh my god, this wasn't in focus. I want to die. So the music video I'm going to be working on is a collaboration between 2 artists. It's Illenium and Curly, and I'm actually a huge fan of Curly's. I used to listen to her stuff in high school. I still listen to it once in a while, but now I've gravitated more towards like acoustic folksy stuff. But I just love her aesthetic, and I just love her. And I can't believe I'm getting to work on one of her music videos. So I am very excited about that. I'm gonna put Stunner here too. See, that shit is blinding. I'm actually really excited to try this mascara. I talked to the people at Ciate and they promise really good whoa. Okay, this is really, really lengthening. I basically concentrated mascara on my bottom lash on that day. Holy shit. It's lengthening my bottom lashes to the point where they look like top lashes. I don't know if you, wait, yeah, you can see this. Let me get close. That's crazy. Like, I swear to God, if this mascara doesn't irritate my eyes, then you've got a winner. Okay, I am legit in love with this mascara. Like, and the more I apply it, the longer my lashes are becoming, and they're not getting clumpy or anything. Usually when I do a bunch of layers, it just gets clumpy and gross. It doesn't actually lengthen anything, it just kind of becomes clumpy and gross. And this one's like actually lengthening everything. This one is supposed to behave like fiber mascara without actually having fibers in it. So I don't know what the technology is behind that, but you can like see for yourselves. I know this is a really unconventional lip, but what really makes it work is the highlight and the Cupid's bow. It gives it a really like romantic and dreamy feel to it. I realize this won't be most people's cup of tea, but I don't really care. I knew this lip was going to be high maintenance because of the gloss over it, and I didn't want the outline to be high maintenance as well. So I wanted something that was just faded, that I didn't have to worry about how it wore through the day. Because nude sticks, once they're set, they're set. Like, they are on for good. I think that's really cute. Then, this is my little obsession. This is the Lancome Beauty Shaker in the color Grapefruit. and I keep it in my purse with me at all times because it is a really great product. I use it on my cheeks as well sometimes if I'm out the door and need to make myself look a little bit more presentable and I didn't really do makeup. I'll use it on my cheeks to give myself a healthy glow. And I also fade this out a little bit. Use it to help fade the nude sticks under it. And then I'm always weary of using lip gloss, but this, okay, let me just swatch this real quick for you guys. This is like pure metal. I don't even know. Yeah, the camera's capturing it. It's like gold, shimmery, and just perfect. And I was afraid that I was gonna have to keep retouching this all throughout the day. And what I found is that the gloss wore off, but the glitter in it stayed on my lips. So I didn't really have to touch up. And okay, I'm placing it in a very non-traditional placement. So I essentially only applied it at the bottom of my bottom lip, kind of as an accent, and then on the top. And I just kind of patted it on so it wouldn't be like a defined line. I just wanted it to still look very, almost very painterly, kind of like brush strokes. And this is the complete look. I'm actually really excited because I finally painted the mattifying varnish on top of the stencil. So now you don't get a reflection anymore. And I can use it as a really nice background. So I'm very happy. And today I'm actually gonna wear something that I wish I'd brought with me to San Francisco. And I wish I'd had this little hair thing with me in San Francisco, and I didn't. But doesn't it just like look so pretty, all the gold and stuff? Yeah, that's actually really, really cute. And I didn't do this then, but because I've got all this exposed, I'm gonna be using a oil that has some gold glitter in it. I'm gonna be using this primarily on my collarbone and shoulders. That looks pretty. It smells really good too. And I know this is a face oil, but it's in such a big bottle and it's so like shimmery that I can't not use it on my body. And you know what? I might actually I have this oil from the Body Shop and it's really gold. I think I'm gonna add some of this too. So this is a dry oil, so it doesn't give the same effect that the other oil does. That's why I wanted to put this over it, just to add a little bit more oomph. This one just smells so good. I kind of feel like a Greek or Roman sculpture with the little leaves in my hair and then just like the bare collarbones. I'm digging this. And that's it. This is a pretty like neutral kind of peachy warm tones palette, but you can still do something out of the ordinary with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys like this sort of thing. I know that you guys really liked my last chatty get ready with me, but this time I decided to do tutorial on Instagram and then just chat on YouTube. Let me know if you guys like this format. If you do, I will keep doing it because then it's kind of the same video but still different content on both channels so that you don't have the same thing on both. You get more instructions on Instagram and then just little life updates on YouTube. I had fun doing this. So my big discovery, I guess, this time was the Shape Tape. Is there any other product that you guys either think deserves the hype or doesn't deserve the hype? Any sort of product talk, then leave it in the comments below. And I would love to talk to you guys about product. I love doing that. That's essentially all I do when I get together with my makeup artist friends. We just talk product and talk shop. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh no, I got lipstick on my teeth. Hold on. Ugh. I don't know if any of that had lipstick on my teeth. It probably did. So, excuse me. Okay, little tip if you don't know, do this. And it'll take off the excess lipstick that's on like the inside of your lips and it'll stop it from getting on your teeth. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!